live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Great to be with you. Thanks for joining us on 2 News Live. I'm Brian Schnee. It is Tuesday, July 25th. We're going in depth tonight on wildfire concerns, not from human-caused wildfires when it pertains to firework activity this time of year, but lightning. That's definitely a concern. Emma Riley joins us live with an update on what's going on in Draper with those homes that slid. Lincoln Graves will be with us as well, talking about the latest ongoing battle with TickTock in the state of Utah. And we have a lot more for you here. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us during the show. Use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join our conversation. You could also just reach out directly. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Chase loves to be reached out to directly as well with your weather photos. He wants to see what's up.
I know.
Let's get to him here.
We got a bunch last night. I know that you posted
Wonder why.
A spectacular one of the fireworks and the lightning.
So let me tell you about that photo. It is 6 photos in one.
Right, I would assume.
So you know, right? It's 6 photos in one. There's like 12 lightning bolts. There's like 100 fireworks in front. Go check out the photo. It is really, really cool. It's on our KUTV Facebook page as well.
Yeah, love that. Okay, so we didn't hit 100 today, so there's your silver lining.
You know what? I never would have guessed because I didn't leave the building at all. I was just staring at a computer screen all day. But for those that got out, I'm sure it was warm, but maybe just not as hot as some expected.
That's right. Triple-digit temperatures over the weekend, so we've now hit 8 days at or above 100 in Salt Lake. That's important because that's now our normal or our average, and that's the latest 30-year average. The record, though, last year, 34 days. That's not in jeopardy, but that number of 8 is going to climb. It's a pretty hot forecast for the rest of the week.
Last year was just pretty crazy, though. I mean, things were very different from year to year to year, and that's why you get paid.
Well, you know, someone's got to do it, right? It's always wild here in Utah, and right now we are tracking maybe a few thunderstorms that will be impacting any evening plans that you might have. So far today, though, 97 degrees. I don't think we're going to hit 100, and that's actually near normal, so not a bad day. It's, of course, still mid-late July. It's our hottest month here in Utah, and that's what we've been seeing. But now we're starting to see more of this monsoon moisture move in. So we've had some cloud cover and a few thunderstorms. If you want to beat the heat, head up to Deer Valley. Right now the temperature is 67 degrees, a gorgeous shot of Jordanelle. The reservoir is full and it is very green, especially in the higher elevations of northern Utah. If you want to cool off, though, those mountain lakes are definitely the spot to do it. Jordanelle and Bear Lake in the low 70s. That's our water temperature. Deer Creek and Pine View at 74. East Canyon 75, and Lake Powell coming in 82 degrees. A bit warmer down in southern Utah, but it is cooler than the air temperature. If you head to Bear Lake, there might be a stray thunderstorm on Thursday up around Garden City, but I think the weekend is shaping up to be perfect to be on the water. Just wear your sunscreen. Lots of sunshine. We'll be in the upper 80s on Friday. Saturday, 90 degrees. We don't hit 90 very often at Bear Lake, and Sunday close to 90, but we'll have a few more clouds bubbling up. So right now that high is near the Four Corners, and that's why we have some of that monsoon moisture here in Utah. So we've been tracking a few of those thunderstorms, mainly over central Utah, but we're now starting to see a few storms pop up just south of St. George. So maybe the east side of St. George could have a few storms, some gusty winds. There's some more storms to the south that could be moving into southwestern Utah. But here's where we've had the rain near I-70. We have more storms, though, near and just south of Dugway and just northwest of Delta. That's kind of what we're watching for, maybe moving into the southern end of the Wasatch Front later this evening, especially right around 7 to 9 o'clock. That's going to be kind of the window to see those storms make it, mainly Salt Lake South. But still a couple lingering showers at 8 o'clock in central and southern Utah. And then as the sun goes down, these showers will likely fall apart by about midnight. And then by tomorrow, we still have some moisture out there. So here we go again. Like clockwork, with the daytime heating, that fuel for those thunderstorms, they'll be going up across portions of northern and central Utah. We do have some drier air, I think, moving into St. George, so I don't think you'll have any storms tomorrow. A very hot day, though, in St. George tomorrow at 108. We'll be in the mid-90s in central Utah, upper 90s along the Wasatch Front. Park City, southwestern Wyoming, mid and upper 80s for daytime highs, and even hot in the basin in mid-90s. St. George, it's hot for the rest of the week and into the weekend, 108, 109. Saturday, 107, though. Sunday, 105. But take a look. Monday, Tuesday, I think some monsoon moisture is going to be increasing, so a decent chance for some thunderstorms and some cooler temperatures as we dip into the 90s down south. Salt Lake, 99. Still could see a storm tomorrow, late afternoon or evening. Thursday, dry, but there could be some mountain thunderstorms in far northeastern Utah. But look at these temperatures climb. We're going to be very hot, right around 100 to 103 Thursday through the weekend. Now next week, some of that monsoon moisture in southern Utah might move into northern Utah by Tuesday. So hopefully next week could be a little bit cooler, could be a little active as well. So this will be a very hot weekend, but again, maybe some changes.
Before we get there, got to deal with the triple digits, though. Yep. So, all right, well, we'll see what it brings. These breezy conditions, obviously, of concern for fires and such while we're going through the changes right now.
Yeah, I think so. Anytime it is a little breezy, the grasses are already pretty dry right now. So just keep that in mind. Nothing too windy out there, but it could be a little breezy at times during the afternoon. Talking
about fires in just a moment when it comes to wildland fires, but how about some video that we've got into our newsroom right now and some pictures. This is happening right now in the Tooele area. This is in Tooele County. From what we've gathered, we've been reaching out to a number of fire officials in this area just to kind of figure out where things are at. Thank you to Michael for sending this video in. Michael Swanson sent these videos here, and Justin sent the photo. We appreciate you guys. This is just north of Stockton along SR 36, Highway 36. Believe this to be a salvage yard, an area where it's kind of a landfill scene there. It's just north of Stockton out there in Tooele County, and we're working to try to figure out some more details. I think the pictures kind of give you a good indication of what is happening here. There is a fire, and there are fire crews on scene. We've been hearing some of the scanner traffic and some folks from Tooele County Fire trying to determine what they can do with this property. So as we learn more about it, we will bring it to you, especially coming up here on 2 News at 6 o'clock in just a few minutes. Going in depth tonight on wildfire concerns as parts of the state continue to dry out. Lately, we've been getting some moisture, but with it have come lightning strikes. Historically, lightning strikes have caused some of the most destructive wildfires in the country and are typically in really hard to reach locations. I just spoke with the Box Elder County Fire Warden about recent strikes moving through the state of Utah and the challenges that come with it. What's it like when a lightning storm rolls through that neck of the woods here in the state?
So it's kind of nerve-wracking. So we'll usually go out and kind of watch and see any possible strikes or possible fires from it.
What have you found recently with some of these bands moving through? What are they doing, and how's the landscape responding to it?
So for the most part, about 5 o'clock every evening, it seems like a cell's been pushing through the last week or so. It's dry. I mean, it's hot enough the fire can carry. But fortunately, we've been able to get to them pretty quick. And now, so in the past 24 hours, we had 4 new lightning caused fires, and 6 total in the past week. With roughly about 500 strikes in Box Elder County and about 3,500 total strikes in the past 24 hours in the state of Utah. We can usually expect about 1 to 2 single tree fires when a cell pushes through is kind of what our trend is now, but it is starting to dry out a lot more, and so we're going to see an increase in that.
With these sort of fire starts, particularly from Mother Nature just doing what she wants, do you find that these are in perhaps some of the more remote, tough to reach areas?
A lot of them are, yeah. So the 3 new starts that we had over the past 24 hours, most of them have been in the higher elevations that we've had to hike into, either that or use a helicopter resources to be able to access that. So yeah, a lot of them have been in the higher elevations. There have been a few in the lower elevations where we have been able to get a brush truck into. Keep an open eye out, and if you see a lightning caused fire, call it into our dispatch center, 911. Let us know that we got it going on so we can come out and protect your ranch or your house.
Well, let's go in depth tonight. Cleanup questions this evening after 2 homes in a Draper neighborhood collapsed. You may remember we covered it a lot. They slid down a hillside while the city is cleaning it up. Much of the debris mess still sits there months after this disaster. Emma Riley spoke with the Draper city manager today about the timeline. Emma, why is this taking months to clean up?
Yeah, there's still a lot of debris here on this trail. This is Ann's Trail, which is a very popular trail for bikers and hikers, and they haven't had access to it since it happened. And when I spoke to the city manager, he told me that it's because they were trying to stabilize and secure the houses around them and make sure that they weren't sliding as well. He also said they're working with Edge Homes and Salt Lake County to figure out how they can haul all the debris out without damaging any other homes. He says that it is very difficult to do that without causing damage and maybe putting other homes at risk. So they're working together to figure out how they can do that effectively and so that they're not damaging any more property. And they've already had to go through a lot in this neighborhood, so they're trying to prevent that.
Emma, you mentioned this is a very popular spot. I know I've seen people post pictures over the last few months saying, I wish I could get to one of my favorite trails. I wish I could see what's going on. How are the people in this neighborhood doing with all of this? I mean, this has been a fiasco for them, not just because of what happened, but because of what happened next for the next 4 months. I mean, part of the road is closed off. There's people coming to take a look. This has got to be a really interesting situation for them.
Yeah, when you approach the street, there's still a lot of construction going on in this neighborhood, preventing people from going through at all. So if you do have to go around, and then, you know, you have the debris. I talked to some bikers who said it's been really inconvenient because this is the main trail that gets them back to the parking lot. And so it's been hard for people who want to train. It's been hard for people who live in the neighborhood, and it doesn't seem like it's going to end very soon. They told me that they're hoping to have the debris cleared out before the winter. So it's still a lengthy process. They still have a lot of things to work out and figure out how they're going to get all the debris out from the trails.
Emma Riley live for us in Draper tonight. Looks pleasant out there this evening, so enjoy your time out there, Emma. We appreciate you. So it came and went. It's something that we talked about a lot, nearly every day for months, not the Draper homes, but the effects of flooding that are still being felt statewide. And today, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has personnel on the ground right here in Utah assessing communities for flood-related damages.
Where are we kind of in the timetable for the whole flooding scenario, coming out of a flood season, right? And then looking at what to do next.
Sure. So these damage assessments are part of the process towards getting potentially a federal disaster declaration. And so what we're doing right now is going out with our partners from the state and with local officials to validate the damages that they've found based on the flooding. These assessments are going on statewide, so it'll take a few days. But basically, we're looking to see what kind of damage was caused by the flooding, and then also what kind of efforts did communities take in combating the flooding. So costs relating to things like sandbagging, emergency actions like, police directing traffic, if shelters were set up, those kind of costs that are also associated with the flooding. We take our lead from the locals. They've been dealing with this for several months already, so they know where the damage is, and it's basically their opportunity to kind of show us what has happened and what the impact is, and then collect that data. I just want to say, this is one step in the process right now. Yes, FEMA is in town, but right now there isn't any assistance yet available to communities, but this is one of the key steps in getting to that stage. So, the communities, we're looking forward to working with them, seeing what kind of impacts there were, and then making sure we have that information documented as well as we can to support should the state make a request for federal assistance. So yeah, this is one step in that process, and hopefully there will be some answers relatively soon.
Well, we're bouncing around just a little bit, but we want to go in depth tonight. The state of Utah is going after TickTock in court, saying the company just isn't complying with the state's investigation. This comes after Governor Spencer Cox announced earlier this year his intention to sue social media companies over how kids are impacted by them. Lincoln Graves live downtown for us. What did the state do today, Lincoln?
Yeah, Brian, so they filed a motion basically trying to get a court to compel TickTock to basically work a little faster and provide more info. You'll remember that back in January, Governor Cox indicated that he was interested in suing social media companies for the harm that he said they caused children. After that announcement, we now know that the Department of Commerce actually started an investigation against TickTock. They sent an administrative subpoena looking for materials, and they say that TickTock really wasn't complying, not in a timely manner, and they weren't giving the materials that the state wanted. So that's what today's court filing was all about, trying to compel TickTock to hand over some of that material and to do it in much faster than they have been. Brian.
Lincoln, as you and I know from working in this industry for a little bit, it's weird for an industry to an agency to show their cards a little bit when it comes to an investigation. Some like to be tight-lipped about what is going on, but they felt the need to almost get this out there, right? And tell people what's going on because of the stance when it comes to the social media landscape here in the state of Utah.
Yeah, I spoke with the executive director of the Department of Commerce today, Margaret Bussey. She said, look, we don't normally disclose active investigations, and you and I know that a lot of agencies, they take that stance, but they also knew that this court filing would likely make things public, so that's why they decided to go this route. They really said we had no other choice. We weren't getting what we wanted from TickTock, and that's why they decided to file these court documents, knowing that it would go public. Brian.
Lincoln Graves joining us live from downtown Salt Lake City tonight. Lincoln also on TikTok. Follow him there and check out what he's got going on. Lincoln, thank you. We want to hear from you at home. Who should be responsible for children's social media use? Scan the QR code on your screen right now to weigh in. Let's take a look. Well, most of you are on the same page with this one, which is rare. A lot of these viewer polls typically have a little bit more sway. A lot of you are just saying this is up to the parents of the kids. Parents need to parent and take a look at what's going on social media. Don't get the government involved. A lot of you are saying no regulation. And a lot of you are not pointing the finger at social media companies either. Must just be how things are in 2023, Chase Thomas.
I don't know. TikTok hooks me.
You get hooked on TikTok?
I need someone to regulate me.
Okay, I'm going to
put away the phone.
So I'll be honest with you. I have a TikTok account. I'm not very good at it.
It is hard.
I don't scroll. I don't look because I don't agree with most of the garbage that I see in my feed.
That's true.
So I'm just like, I don't like this. And then there's new threads, right? Which I kind of gave an effort at early, and now I'm like, well, I don't know. It's too much going on.
My thing is, when I'm bored and then you're scrolling and then all of a sudden it's like 45 minutes later and then I get mad at myself. I'm like, why am I doing this?
You know where I get my Chase Thomason other than right here? Facebook.
Yeah.
That's where I see what you're up to.
Yeah.
So those older platforms, they still, for me,
but we're getting older, Brian.
Well, I am aging.
We're not.
Yeah. So maybe I'm just not the right person for TikTok. That's what we figured out.
You're too old.
But,
Figured it out.
yes, we're all on TikTok if you'd like to shoot a follow and see what we are or are not up to. Thanks for watching 2 News Live. Great to be back with all of you after I played hooky yesterday and Friday. We are here Monday through Friday at 5:30. Hope you can join us again for more in-depth conversations. We got a little crazy today and brought you a little bit of everything. May do the same tomorrow. We'll see you then.